What if I told you the person holding you back wasn't your enemy? It wasn't somebody from another neighborhood. It wasn't somebody you didn't know. It was your friend, the person you trusted, the person you grew up with, the person who knew your struggles, the person who knew your dreams, the person who smiled in your face while secretly hoping you never made it. What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Paul P. Today I want to tell you the story of two friends who grew up together, Joseph and Marcus. Not in Beverly Hills, not in some wealthy neighborhood where opportunities were everywhere. Nah, they grew up in a place where people struggled. A place where lights got turned off. A place where mothers worked 2 jobs just to survive. A place where fathers were missing. A place where young men often learn survival before they learn purpose. A place where dreams often died before they ever had a chance to live. Joseph and Marcus were inseparable. They walked to school together, played football in the streets together growing up, got in trouble together. They even ate together. They dreamed together. People called them brothers even though they weren't related by blood. As kids, they would sit on the curb talking about how one day they were going to make it out the neighborhood, make it out the hood, you know? They promised each other that no matter what happened, they would always have each other's back. But life has a funny way of revealing who people really are when success enters the picture. By the time they got to high school, Joseph started separating himself from everybody else. Not because he was trying to, he was just gifted. Joseph was one of the best football players in the state. He wasn't just good, he was special. Every Friday night under those stadium lights, he looked like he belonged somewhere bigger. When he touched the field, people stopped and watched. Coaches from colleges started showing up. Recruiting letters started arriving in the mail. Local newspapers started writing stories about him. People in the neighborhood started saying, that boy right there, he going somewhere. That boy good. And for the first time in his life, Joseph saw a real opportunity to change not only his life, but his entire family's future. So while other kids were focused on the streets, Joseph was studying playbooks. While other young men were staying out late, Joseph was training before school. While others were chasing attention, chasing girls, Joseph was chasing a scholarship. His mother used to sit in the stands with tears in her eyes because she knew football might be the thing that opened a door nobody in their family had ever walked through before. By his senior year, Joseph had scholarship offers from multiple universities. Coaches were visiting his home. Recruiters were calling his phone. People were telling him he had a real shot at playing Division I football and maybe even going pro one day. Everything was changing. At first, Marcus seemed happy. He celebrated every accomplishment. He told people, "That's my boy." When Joseph had a big game, Marcus was the loudest person in the stands. When people from the neighborhood talked about Joseph making it out, Marcus would smile like he was proud. At least that's what it looked like. But what nobody saw was what was happening inside of Marcus's heart. Because while Joseph was moving forward, Marcus felt like he was still standing still. Every time a recruiter came around, they wanted to talk to Joseph. Every time people spoke about success, they mentioned Joseph. Every time opportunities appeared, they appeared for Joseph. And little by little, jealousy started growing. See, jealousy is dangerous because it rarely shows up loud at first. It starts quiet. It starts with comparison, then resentment, then bitterness, then anger. Then eventually you find yourself upset about somebody else's blessing. You start asking, why him and not me? You start feeling like their success is making you smaller. You start feeling like their light is exposing your darkness. And if you don't deal with that feeling, It could turn you into somebody you never thought you would become. Man. Soon things started changing. Whenever something good happened, Marcus acted strange. When college coaches called Joseph, Marcus changed the subject. When people congratulated Joseph, Marcus pointed out his mistakes. When coaches praised Joseph, Marcus said, man, they're hyping you up too much, bro. When opportunities appeared, Marcus always had a reason why it wouldn't work. Then it got worse. Marcus started giving Joseph bad advice. He would tell him to skip workouts, miss football camps, ignore certain recruiters, stay out late before games, hang around people who didn't care about football. Every piece of advice sounded harmless at first, but every piece of advice was slowly pulling Joseph away from his future. At first, Joseph thought nothing of it because Marcus was his friend. That was a person who had been there since childhood. That was the person who knew his family, knew his pain, knew his dreams, and knew how badly he wanted to make it out. So in Joseph's mind, he kept saying, why would somebody who loves me want me to fail? But that's the problem. Sometimes the people closest to you are the hardest people to see clearly. Sometimes loyalty can blind you. Sometimes history can make you ignore warning signs. Sometimes you keep giving people access to your life because of who they used to be, even though they are now becoming a danger to who God is trying to make you. One day, another friend pulled Joseph to the side and said, you need to be careful. Joseph laughed and asked, careful of who? The young man looked him in the eyes and said, Marcus. At first, Joseph couldn't believe it. He didn't want to believe it. He got defensive. He said, nah, that's my brother. He wouldn't do that to me. But then the story started coming. People began telling Joseph about conversations happening behind his back, the jealousy, the bitterness, the things Marcus was saying when Joseph wasn't around. He heard that Marcus was telling people Joseph thought he was better than everybody. He heard that Marcus was saying the scholarship was changing him. He heard that Marcus was mad that the whole neighborhood was treating Joseph like he was special. And even then, Joseph still tried to give Marcus the benefit of the doubt, because cutting off somebody you love is not easy. Walking away from history is not easy. Letting go of a person you thought would be with you forever is not easy. But then came the moment that changed everything. One night, Joseph found out that Marcus had been talking to people who didn't like him, people who at one point in time wanted to rob him, people who knew Joseph was getting attention, people who knew Joseph had opportunities coming, people who knew Joseph might be leaving the neighborhood soon and just had hate in their hearts. People who were jealous of his future, people who didn't care if he got hurt and worse. And that's when Joseph realized this wasn't just jealousy anymore. This was dangerous. What started as insecurity had turned into betrayal. What started as bitterness had turned into a setup. Marcus wasn't just secretly rooting against Joseph anymore. Marcus was helping create a situation that could cost Joseph his life. And that's when reality finally hit him. The biggest threat to Joseph's future wasn't a stranger. It wasn't an enemy. It wasn't somebody across town. It was somebody sitting right beside him the entire time. Somebody he loved. Somebody he trusted. Somebody he called his brother. And that kind of pain hits different because when an enemy tries to hurt you, you expect it. But when a friend tries to destroy you, it cuts in a place you didn't even know you could bleed. That night, Joseph had to make the hardest decision of his life. He had to choose between loyalty to his past and obedience to his future. He had to choose between staying around somebody who made him comfortable and separating himself from somebody who could destroy him. He had to choose between guilt and growth. He finally understood something that a lot of people learn too late. Everybody cannot go where God is taking you. Some people are connected to your history, but not your destiny. Some people were assigned to a season, not your whole life. And if you keep trying to carry the wrong people into your future, they may end up destroying the very thing God was trying to build in you. A few months later, Joseph accepted a full football scholarship and left for college early. He got out of there. He packed his bags, hugged his mother, said goodbye to the neighborhood, and never ever looked back. The separation hurt. There were nights Joseph missed Marcus. Nights he questioned his decision. Nights he wondered if he was being too harsh. Nights he thought about calling him just to see if things could be fixed. But every time Joseph thought about going back, he remembered the truth, the jealousy, the betrayal, the setup, the danger, and he stayed focused. College wasn't easy. Football was hard. Classes were hard. Being away from home was hard. There were days Joseph wanted to quit. There were days he felt alone. There were days he missed the streets simply because the streets were familiar. But he kept going. And while he was there, something changed. Joseph started realizing that his future wasn't just about playing football. He became fascinated with how athletes recover, how bodies heal, how injuries are treated, and how one right doctor can help save an athlete's career. So even after football, Joseph stayed locked in. He earned his bachelor's degree. Then he earned his master's degree. Then he went deeper into sports medicine. And eventually his discipline, education, and work ethic helped him become one of the most respected sports medicine doctors in the country. Whew. Years later, professional athletes were flying across the country to work with Joseph. College programs wanted him around their players. Teams respected his mind. Families trusted him with their sons. Joseph became the kind of man that younger athletes look up to. The same young man who once dreamed about escaping his neighborhood ended up helping athletes all over the world protect their bodies, extend their careers, and recover from injuries that could have ended everything. Joseph didn't just make it out. He became somebody. Meanwhile, Marcus stayed in the streets. The jealousy never left. The anger never left. The bitterness never left. The poor decisions continued. The same spirit that made him hate Joseph's success started every part of his life. Marcus kept blaming other people, kept comparing himself, kept making excuses, kept choosing the wrong crowd. Eventually, Marcus got involved in a serious crime that left another family devastated. And this time, there was no escaping the consequences. He was convicted and sentenced to life in prison. 2 young men, same neighborhood, same struggles, same starting point, completely different endings. Why? Because one chose purpose while the other chose jealousy. One chose growth while the other chose bitterness. One chose discipline while the other chose destruction. One was willing to separate from what was dangerous, and the other became the danger. That's why you have to be careful who you let close to you, because sometimes the difference between a prison cell and a successful future isn't talent. Sometimes it isn't intelligence. Sometimes it isn't even opportunity. Sometimes it's simply who you choose to keep yourself around. The wrong friends can destroy everything God is trying to build in your life. You know, the Bible says in Proverbs 13:20, walk with the wise and become wise, for a companion of fools suffers harm. That means your circle is not just company. Your circle is direction. The people around you are either helping you walk toward wisdom or pulling you toward destruction. And 1 Corinthians 15:33 says, do not be misled. Bad company corrupts good character. That means you can have talent, discipline, dreams, and a future, but if you keep the wrong people close enough, they can corrupt the very thing that makes you special. So ask yourself this: who are you spending your time around? Who celebrates your success when you're not in the room? Who secretly hates seeing you win? Who pushes you towards your purpose? Who pulls you away from it? Who respects what God is doing in your life? And who only loves you when you stay on their level? Because your circle can either elevate your future or destroy it. And sometimes the person holding you back isn't the stranger, it's the friend sitting right next to you. Remember this: not everybody clapping for you wants to see you succeed. Protect your peace, protect your purpose, choose your circle wisely, and never let somebody else's insecurity stop you from becoming who God created you to be. It's your boy Paul P. Thanks for watching.